Perfect. Well, welcome to your new student orientation, everyone. If we could go to slide 2. You'll want to make sure you check your Arizona College of Nursing email. This will be the first order of business. I believe Mickey has sent everyone an email with some important documents, has some information on official transcript deadlines. It'll have the NSO PowerPoint presentation in there, your technology handbook, and then any NSO or new student orientation handouts that are important for you. If you don't know how to access your email, there's directions right on the bottom of your screen. If you want to take a screenshot or jot those down really quick, we can always help you troubleshoot as well. So we can go to the next slide. My name is Candace Herder. I had the pleasure of meeting everyone during your acceptance calls. So that was a fun conversation. And again, if everyone doesn't mind turning on their camera, if you have access to do so, that way everyone can get to know who's in their new student orientation starting with them, and we can all get to know each other. But I want to welcome you all to Arizona College. My role here is the Executive Director of Enrollment Services. So I help pass you from admissions and the enrollment to academics, and we do a smooth handoff. So today you'll meet a lot of people that'll be important in your journey with Arizona College. We can go to the next slide.
Hey, Candace, I'm not seeing the slides on the screen. Am I the only one that can't see them?
Nope, I can see them.
Okay.
Can everyone else see them okay?
Okay, I guess it's
Perfect.
just me.
I don't know, Mickey.
Okay.
We know that you have a lot of choices when choosing where you are going to go to nursing school. So we want to thank you first and foremost for choosing Arizona College of Nursing. We offer a great support, and we will take care of you and do our best to mold you into the nurses that you envision yourself being. So this is an exciting time for you, and we hope that you enjoy your journey to becoming a nurse. And we can go to the next slide. Today during orientation, we're going to cover several things. So it's all about you. We're going to talk about your decision to become a professional nurse, our commitment to your success in your journey on becoming a nurse. You'll be able to meet your campus support team, learn about your support resources, and then if you look around, you can meet fellow students who will be taking the journey with you. So welcome. And then if you want to follow us for a chance to win, on the next slide, you'll see we are on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. If you will just use the hashtag Arizona College of Nursing or Arizona College in your posts, you can be featured on our social pages. And I will pass the baton over to Mickey, our Bachelor of Science in Nursing Program Manager.
Great, thanks, Candace. Hi, everyone. Hopefully, all of you recognize me from my name from the emails that I've sent out to you, but if you haven't been paying attention to them, definitely take a second when we're done and look at your emails, your credential emails. This includes your school login and your Canvas email, which is where your classes will be. That one was sent out to your personal email. And then there are some, once you get into your your school email, you'll also have some other emails. Candace mentioned some of the things that you'll find. So you'll have an IT handbook. So if you have any issues with IT, it tells you what to do. And then there are several handouts from our new student orientation today that you should see. One thing I will say is that please make sure that you're checking your school email regularly. All of the staff and faculty at the school will correspond with you through your school email. So we would hate to have you miss out on things if you're not checking that. So make sure that you are looking at that so that you're not missing financial aid information or announcements from myself or the faculty. And then for your classes, when you log into Canvas, you may not see them come up until classes begin. Sometimes you'll see them a little bit early, but you can check this weekend and see if they're there, and then you can kind of look around and see what your classes will look like. It's important to begin assignments and well, at least view your assignments just to see when they're due. All of them will have assignment due dates on them and those types of things. There's an orientation that I sent out to you to help you navigate through Canvas. So please make sure you do that. It's important so that you don't get lost in there. Let's see, the tech handbook I mentioned a little bit. This will help you access your books, help with Canvas. It, again, if you're having issues, it tells you how to reach out to tech support. There's some student resource information in there. So if you need help with like our library or have to do research, it shows you how to get access to that. And then there's a contact information sheet. And so that will show you kind of who are the people on Canvas that you may need to reach out to, and explains what their role is and kind of what they do. And then there's some information about progressing into the core nursing classes once you get into semester 5. So you can start gathering some of that documentation, especially for immunizations and those kinds of things now. But as you get closer to starting your core classes, we will remind you about that. Student portal, we'll talk a little bit more in depth later, but this is where you can access your student records. There's an academic calendar, which will show you the semester start and stop dates. Keep in mind that some of your classes are only 8 weeks in length, so semester is a full 16 weeks. So we refer to those as blocks. So you may have a May block and then a June block. So just keep that in mind. And then also it will show you the holidays in there as well. Some students, want to go on vacations, but I highly discourage you to try to make sure that you are attending class. Attendance is extremely important. And that if you do want to take a break, you do it within that semester break. The last handout that I did send was about official transcripts. So even though for some of you that have taken classes elsewhere, even though you may have just given us an unofficial copy, in order to get those transfer credits approved, we do have to have your official transcripts. And so that last handout will give you information about where to send those. And then you can always reach out to me again. If you have any questions about schedules or transcripts or anything like that, I'm always happy to help. All right, well, I am going to turn the time over to Dr. Nidegger now. He is our Executive Director of Academic Operations.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is an exciting day. The first day of your journey to becoming a nurse. So my name is Dr. Nidegger, and I am the Executive Director of Academic Operations on the Salt Lake campus. I have been a nurse 12 years now. And I couldn't imagine a better profession to be in. So I commend all of you for taking this step and for joining the nursing profession. I'm very, very passionate about nursing and the profession and all the great things that it does, not just for you as a nurse, but for the community and for all the patients that you'll be helping in the future. It's amazing to think about the impact that each one of you will have on individuals. You're going to be saving lives. You're going to be helping people get better. You're going to be helping people improve their health. You're going to be helping communities be stronger and healthier, and each one of you is going to be able to make a huge difference. And so just think about the whole group of you here, all the many lives that you're going to touch and impact over the next years to come, decades to come. It's an amazing thought, and it all starts today. So Arizona College is unique. We have a unique program but we also have a unique culture. We strive to be the most student-centric school in the world. That's our vision. And as part of that, we have what we call our student and colleague interactions guidelines. And so these are all based off of the Golden Rule. You guys learned the Golden Rule when you were young, I'm sure. Treat others as you would like them to treat you. But that really drives our culture here. You will have many, you can see the group around you, many students that you'll be interacting with, many instructors that you'll be interacting with, your deans, the different support staff here. When we interact with each other, we always greet each other with a smile. We really care about each other. And we always try to be courteous, kind, and respectful. I know that sounds nice and easy right now, but after you've been in a group of students, the same students for 2 years, your patience can wear a little thin sometimes. So we'll be reminding you about this along the way. So remember that a big topic in nursing for the past 10 years has been civility in nursing, and making sure that we're treating each other with kindness and respect. And I think that's a really important thing to carry, not just during your time here at Arizona College, but in your professional life as well. We give generously of our time. We are here to help our students reach their goals and help each other to be the best we can be. I will tell you, there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes each and every day here. Every day, including weekends, people working together to make sure that this is the best program it can be for you guys. Your instructors are the most amazing group of people I've ever met. They are passionate about what they do, and they work way more than we ask them to work. They're always here, they're always helping students, and they just love what they do. And they are willing to put their heart, effort, and energy into this. And because they do that for you, we also have high expectations for you. There's going to be a lot, there's a lot of homework. There's a lot of time spent in clinical. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of time spent in labs, in homework. So encourage you to really look at your time, make sure that you're planning ahead and making sure that you're spending that time to get what you need out of this program. So you will get out of this program what you put into it, and a little bit more. So we praise each other in public and address differences in private. I love celebrating our successes. We have amazing students here that are always doing amazing things. I love to go and find students that did well on their exams, did well on a hard assignment, and go and give them a high five or a kudos. So make sure that you're celebrating those successes as well. Let your friends and family know how you're doing. Let people know that this is important to you, and so they can celebrate with you as well. And then we will all celebrate together at graduation. We'll have a good time there. But we do address our differences in private. So we recognize that there will be some difficult times, and there will be some lapses and mistakes made along the way. When those happen, we deal with them with the people that that are affected by it. So if you have a question about a grade that was given to you, address your instructor. Talk with them, figure it out. It doesn't need to go on social media. It doesn't need to go to the whole class. That's a matter between you and the instructor and then maybe the dean. So when things happen, we address them privately. because we don't want people to feel shamed or we don't want people to have be negatively impacted by anything that happens. So then last but not least, we are forgiving of ourselves and others. Like I said, it's not going to go perfectly for you. You're going to have times when you don't get the grade that you want, or you don't have, you have a bad day at clinical. Maybe one of your patients passes away or something. But we forgive ourselves. We allow ourselves to make mistakes, and we allow ourselves to learn from those mistakes. And that's a big part of nursing, is learning from those experiences that we have. So, I have the pleasure of introducing our leadership team here. We have two amazing deans with us today. Dr. Heather Panic, and she is our Dean of Nursing, and she's waving. And then Ms. Angelique Shulman is our General Education Dean, and they are both amazing and talented people, and they are here to help you be successful throughout the program. We also have Mickey Miller, who you met a little bit earlier in the program. I will tell you that these first couple of weeks, Mickey Miller is going to be your best friend. Any questions that you have regarding your schedule, regarding your classes, she's a great go-to person. So make sure that you have her email on speed dial. And then Dr. Bo Whalen, also known as Dr. William Whalen. He is our LRC coordinator. He's here to help you with technology needs, as well as tutoring needs. So he is a tutoring whiz, and if he can't tutor the class, he knows who can. So he will be reaching out to you guys here in the next week. So make sure that you're utilizing all the great tutoring resources that we have, and there is a lot. So, all right. So I will turn the time over to Angelique Shulman.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dean Shulman, the General Education Dean, and I'm going to be a very important part of the first part of your journey, getting through your general education credits. I am generally here between 9 and 6 p.m., but you'll oftentimes see me a little after 6 o'clock coming to your classes and seeing how things are going, providing treats, things like that. I put my contact information in the chat here, so you'll be able to reach me either using my office number, my mobile number, or my email. I've got many computer devices I'm plugged into all the time, so there's a guarantee that you'll be able to get me on one of those, or at least get a response back from me. I really want to encourage you to reach out to me as soon as you can if something's going on, so that we can provide you any support that you need. So you are starting here in your first semester with us on this roadmap to becoming a nurse. And so you're going to be part of my team through the general education semesters 1 through 4, no matter what classes you've already come through with, or if you're starting right at the very beginning. So we're going to take this part of the journey together. So again, feel free to reach out to me at any time that you're feeling you need a little bit extra support. Next slide, please. One of the things that you need to be really familiar with is your academic catalog. You can find that at the link that we've provided there. It's going to have a lot of answers to a lot of questions that you might have, from attendance policies to prerequisites to if something is happening and you need to consider a leave of absence or anything like that. This is really your guide to how you navigate through all of the policies and such here at Arizona College. We are all very dedicated to your success. I have spent many hours with students working one-on-one with them. I'm here for you for that as well. If you start getting into your classes and you start feeling kind of overwhelmed by the workload, I am a whiz at organization. So, feel free to reach out to me for that. I want to help you get through this part and be prepared for getting into core. If you do need to consider changes to your schedule, you're going to want to speak with myself or one of the other members of your student success team so you can find out what the best options are going to be for you. Next slide, please. So again, make sure that you familiarize yourself with those important policies. I cannot stress enough the importance of attending class. There's a direct correlation to students who do not attend class and then do not pass the classes. Your classes, you're going to have some that have an online synchronous component via Zoom, much like what we're doing today. And some of your classes are going to have an in-person component, and some will also have a lab. You should treat your Zoom class, in-person class, the same as if you were physically here on campus. Those 2 hours of what we call lecture are very important to help you break down and understand the material. You want to do your best to avoid being withdrawn from the program or withdrawing yourself from the program, because it can, or even a class, because it can have an effect on your GPA and on your satisfactory academic progress. If you could go back, thank you. Those things are, again, things you're going to want to have a conversation with myself or Mickey on to find out. Now, we do understand that sometimes life happens and you might have to withdraw, but your decision to withdraw really needs to occur before the end of week 6 in order to end up with a W on your record and not a failure. After week 6, it does end up showing on your official transcript as an F. You're also going to want to speak to financial aid before you make any decisions on changing your schedule, whether that's a withdrawal, an LOA, or whatever, because it can affect what kind of funding that you are getting. So our experts in that area who are going to be able to tell you so that you know what you're getting into before you make those decisions. So we just kind of mentioned the satisfactory academic progress, which is known as SAP. Your SAP is very important. You know, as you kind of progress through, you do have a limited amount of time to do so and still get funding. So you'll hear us talk a lot about SAP. And again, that's important, why you want to attend, why you want to get your homework done and everything. This can impact your student aid package if you are not meeting SAP. Another thing we want you to be aware of is, you know, it's very important as a nurse to have integrity as so much as it is when you are a student. So be sure that you conduct yourself both academically and professionally with that integrity. That means, you know, things like, you know, not plagiarizing, following the APA guidelines, which we have many resources to help you with if you're not familiar with APA in writing, and of course, don't cheat. Things like that. But if you are struggling with the class, like Dr. Neidegger said, we have a lot of tutoring types of things available to you to help you really master the content. Next slide, please. Couple things to kind of think about when problem solving, what we like to call our ABCs, whether that's in person or if you are in an online class. Always assume that everything is brought to you with good intent. Begin with the people who are involved so that they can help to make sure that they address whatever concerns that you have. Be sure to communicate as clearly as possible and be specific. So again, we can really address what those concerns are. You don't want to escalate it prematurely. So you don't want to just kind of jump to me immediately. You really want to give the instructor or fellow student the benefit of doubt and give them a chance to explain themselves or address your concerns. Educate yourself on the relevant policy. Again, that academic catalog is going to be very important for that. And then, of course, always follow the chain of command. Then if it isn't, you know, being resolved, then you want to move it up properly. Right. The next one is going to go to Mickey, so I'm going to reintroduce her to go over the student portal.
Hi again, everybody. You're going to get so used to seeing me, or at least seeing my name in emails. So I did mention our student portal briefly. So this is where your official records are going to be kept. And so you can see in one of the handouts I gave you, it shows the web address that's on here as well. But you can go up here and click login, and then just log in using your student school email and password. And then there's several things that you can do while you're in your student portal. One of them is you can see what your final grades are. So this is where your official grades are posted. Canvas grades are not considered official grades, even though Generally, they're the same. They should be, at least final grades should be the same as what is in your portal account, but this is where your actual grades will be printed on a transcript from. So speaking of transcripts, you can always print out your own unofficial transcript if you need that for some reason. You know, if you're getting tuition reimbursement from your employer or things like that, sometimes they want that, and you're welcome to print that out. It's always important to make sure that your contact information is current. So, you know, sometimes we're trying to reach out to you if we have questions or if financial aid needs something. And so please make sure that your information in there is correct and up to date. There's also a faculty directory in there that you can look at, and there's links to Canvas and also the catalog. And just like Angelique mentioned, the catalog is a very important place to see what the policies are and what we can do for you when it comes to certain circumstances and those kind of things. So it's great reading, especially late at night when you can't sleep. So I do encourage you to at least kind of browse through that, just so that you know what the policies are. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention was FERPA. So if you haven't heard of what FERPA is very similar to HIPAA in the medical field, but this is your privacy rights for while you're in school. And so essentially what that means is that we won't give anyone your personal information, such as your grades or your financial aid information, those types of things, unless we have your consent. And there is a place in there where you can go and add people to that. Sometimes you want, you know, a spouse or a parent or someone else to be able to ask questions, so you can add them. If you don't want anyone, that's fine. You don't have to add anyone in there necessarily. And you can also remove people if you change your mind. We can give out directory information though, so please be aware of that. If someone calls up and says, you know, hey, does Mickey attend school at Arizona College? We can say yes, and that she's in the nursing program. So we do give out, you know, just directory information, but not specific information when it comes to your schooling and those types of things. I'm excited for you to be here. I do encourage you, you're going to hear this from everybody and you'll get sick of it, but to please ask questions if you need help. The students that I have seen in the past that really struggle and ultimately a lot of them withdraw are the ones that are afraid to ask questions. We're not here to make you feel bad or, you know, belittle you because you don't know something. We want you to succeed. We're not what you call a weed out program. We want everyone that starts to be successful and succeed and reach your goals. So please don't be afraid to reach out to any of us. We're happy to help you. If we personally can't help you, we'll get you to the person that you need help from. All right, well, I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Panik, our Dean of Nursing.
I'm the one that didn't unmute, right? I'm so excited for you guys to be here and joining us at Arizona College. This is a great place to be. I have been a nurse since, well, for about 17 years, and I've been in nursing education in the college setting since about 2009. I have had the privilege of working at several different colleges in Utah, and I can say that I have really found my home here. Arizona is amazing. As Dr. Neidiger mentioned, that we are very student-centered here, and we want to see you all succeed. So welcome again. Just a little bit to talk about our faculty a little bit. Our nursing faculty is awesome. We have the best faculty here. They really want to see you succeed. They're going to help you. They're going to keep an eye on you. They're going to catch you when you're falling and kind of pull you up and see what you need for that help. With Arizona College, we do have a student nurses association. We're going to talk a little bit more about that during Nurses Week. We'll have next week during Welcome Week, we'll have some information with our student representatives there and some application process for you. So the Student Nurse Association is about being a mentor to students and helping to get prepared for your initial licensure. we just had the National Student Nurse Association was hosted here in Salt Lake City just a few weeks ago, and it was an amazing opportunity for a couple of our students to go to and bring that information back to the other students. Student Nurse Association conveys the standards, ethics, and skills that students will need as responsible and accountable leaders and members of the profession. It's also a great way to network with your people in your community and outside of your community as well. Opportunities are leadership and career development, campus-wide events. We'll host some events here on campus, and we'll try and get involved in our immediate community as well. All right, next slide. Okay, so transitioning to core, that's a big step, you guys. We come into this profession of nursing and we kind of have to step our game up a little bit. Attendance is a lot more strict here. You can't miss any lab, you can't miss any clinical. It's really, really important that you try not to miss any class. There are some parameters around that because that knowledge that you are missing can make a difference on your exams. It can make a difference on your practice and clinical, and how you know, confident you are feeling too with the information. So please make sure that you're attending, make sure that you're contacting your faculty immediately if you're going to be sick. Time management is huge. Dean Showman, she talked about that. She's really great with time management. Once you get into this nursing, it's important everywhere, but nursing, we have the lab on there, we have the clinical, we have our studying groups, all this stuff, our asynchronous courses that we're doing. So how do we manage all of this? Can be very daunting, and some students really struggle with this. And I want you and encourage you to reach out to your faculty or to your friends, your colleagues, and your students in the classes to help you with that, because if you don't get a grasp on that at the beginning, it can really, really bring you down. So I'm here during the day most of the time, pretty much 9 to 5. I can be available in the evening. I can do Teams, anything like that, to help meet with you if you need to with some time management. I want to help you succeed. This goes along with your study skills. I remember going to nursing school, and I took my first nursing class. Patho was one of them. Well, guess what? I never went to class. I didn't study. It wasn't like some of my other classes. Guess what? I got to take it again. So make sure that you are really serious about this. Study skills from the beginning. We also, utilizing resources. We have some cards that we'll have around the campus too about free online tutoring through tutor.com. So we'll get that resource out to you for some of our classes we have, but utilize your friends too in class, and your instructors will give you lots of study tips and resources for our books for different things. Practicing self-care. Who does that? Who's good with practicing self-care? Do you know what that is? Okay, Trinity does. Okay, so self-care. I'm a holistic nurse. I have my certification. I sometimes have to be reminded to take care of myself. Self-care means keep doing those things that help you relax, the things that make you smile, the things that make you take a deep breath and remember why you're doing what you're doing, whether it's taking a walk, whether it's doing meditation, taking a bath, whatever it is, playing with your kids. Make sure you continue to do that. And I'll remind you guys in class too. So important to take a breath and remember the big picture, but don't forget yourself while doing it too. Okay. Next slide, please. Health and safety requirements. So once you start the nursing program, you have all your immunizations you have to have completed, your background check, your drug screening, your CPR, all of these things. A little bit later in your program, before the semester 5, the core nursing, we're going to have another orientation called the health and safety orientation. We're going to go over all of your immunizations you need. So it's from your varicella, your Hep B, your TB, different titers that you might need. CPR, you guys, for those of you that work in healthcare already and that may have one, it does need to be an American Heart Association. And we'll have a link for a place that does them quite frequently and is very willing to work with schedules. So we'll provide that in the health and safety orientation. There's a little bit of money associated with these things, so make sure you are saving some money for that. It says on here, address questions to the clinical coordinator as early as possible. I am that person right now until December. So if you have any questions about any immunizations, please feel free to email me or call me. I put my information in the chat as well, so you have it there. Let's see, requirements. So nursing core progression requirements, they're found on page 15 and 16 of the academic catalog. The academic catalog was mentioned before. It's just really the go-to for everything, you guys. I have a copy on my desk. I have it saved on my computer. Whenever there's a question about dress code or what classes are next or attendance or immunizations, I pull up the catalog and I send you a link and I tell you what page number it's on. And so we really, really go by that catalog. Does anyone have any, are we doing questions at the end? Anyways, next slide. Oh, and I get to turn that over. I'm not sure who's doing this part.
That's me.
All right, welcome back.
Thank you. All right, so just a reminder, I've seen kind of people start to have their videos drop off. So if you could keep your videos on so we can see your happy face and know that you're there and not just doing what I do during some meetings and snooze during the Zoom presentation. I know that's a habit that some of us have picked up during COVID. So, but we do want to see your face. And Angelina, please make sure that you're careful while you're driving. One of the great resources that we have here at Arizona College is we have what's called a campus counseling program. And that's not her, but I forgot to put a picture of. We have a campus counselor named Tracy Robinson. She actually resides in Arizona, but is very, very great about conducting either phone or team sessions. So campus counseling is for all those things that might get in the way of you being successful academically. Whether it is you're dealing with depression or anxiety, or you have testing anxiety, or you have kids that you're struggling to figure out their daycare. In fact, I have a slide here. There's just a lot of different things that in life that can cause you to lose focus of your academic success. We understand that, and we realize that life happens. And so we have campus counselors that are here for you to help you get through some of those difficult times, to get the resources that you need to be successful in life so that you can be successful in your academics. So this is just a small list of different things that they help with. They can help with state medical insurance, getting onto Affordable Care Act insurance, Medicaid, if you qualify, even Medicare sometimes. If you need nutritional assistance, if you need help getting into a WIC program for those that have young kids, those of you that might need food stamps for a while. And I will say there is absolutely no shame in that. When I was a nursing student, I was I had a 2-year-old daughter, a brand new son, a wife, and a brother-in-law that lived with me. And I was making minimum wage and getting a little bit of help from the I was prior military, but it was not enough to meet the needs of my family. We were on Medicaid, we were on food stamps, and it was and I'm really glad that I got that experience to work through those, because I think it made me stronger in the end, and it made me a more empathetic nurse. I think it helps me understand students a lot better now that I'm in this type of a role. So please don't hesitate to ask for help. Don't hesitate to ask for assistance. This is a time for you to focus on this one part of your life and get through it. And then you're going to be in a great position to help other people. So whether it's daycare assistance, system navigation for your children, or, you know, some of you might be in that sandwich generation as well. If you need help with computer or internet assistance, we actually just started a great program that we're going to announce next week to help students get affordable laptops. So, and then also family support, COVID-19 support. I know we're starting to see a lot of light with COVID-19, but we're not completely out of it yet, and we could see some upswings during the winter months. So anything that you need support wise through that, we got you. To get in touch with the counseling support, you can email, we'll send the slide deck out to you guys. You can email Tracy Robinson, or you can contact any member of our team here and just say, hey, I need to talk to a counselor. You don't have to tell us what it's for. Just say you need to get in touch with somebody, and we will help you get in touch with them. No questions asked. If you want to share with us what's going on, we're happy to talk with you about it as well. So, all right, student success coaches. Is this me as well? Okay. We have so many more people on the call now that I don't know who gets to do what part anymore. It used to only be me. So, so as part of that kind of same vein, we want you to be successful. We want you to finish the program. We want you to be a nurse. We want you to be able to make that money, right? We want you to feel like you're contributing to society and the community. And we want you to be successful. We want you to get the best grades possible. So we have what's called a student advising program. Basically, you'll be assigned to a student success coach, and it will be either myself or Ms. Showman or Dr. Whalen or Mickey Miller. And we will be your go-to for your time in gen ed. Once you get to the nursing classes, you'll be switched to one of our nursing faculty for that. And we're here for you for whatever you need. It's just another person that's here, willing and ready to help you be successful in the program. The other part of it is, if we notice that you start slipping a little bit, we will be right there to catch you and start knocking on, or start emailing you and calling you and see what we can do to help you be successful. So best practice though is that you reach out to us before you start slipping. We want to make sure that you know, we're getting close to about 200 students right now. And as much as we love to and try to be right there anytime that you slip and fall, sometimes you need to give us a little bit of a holler and say, hey, I need some help. So, but if you don't reach out, we will definitely be reaching out to you. And please answer. Please let us help you. Please let us be a part of your success. Even if you feel like you're at a point where you're not gonna be able to successfully finish a class, that happens sometimes. It's rare, but it happens sometimes. If you feel like you're at the point of no return, still give us a call. Let us help you out. There's things that we can do. Sometimes, you know, if you're sick or if you have a family emergency or something like that, there's things that we can do to help navigate that and help you be successful in the end. So we will be proactive to reach out to you. Please be proactive to reach out to us as well. And yeah, if you haven't done your Noel Levitt survey, encourage you to do that. So what that does is that gives us kind of a glimpse into what type of student you are and if you if there's any areas that you need a little bit of extra assistance in. So Dr. Whalen could not be with us today. He is under the weather. He's getting COVID tested right now. So keep your fingers crossed and send some good vibes his way. So hopefully he'll be better next week and ready to rock and roll and help you guys out. But he is our learning resource coordinator, and he is in charge of all the tutoring and some other various resources to help you be successful. So we have what's called a virtual LRC. It is just starting to get up and running. I believe you guys will be the first new group of students that will get to experience it. Within that, there are several workshops. There are lots of different study sessions, skills, tutoring that will help you. So that will be a local one. There's also a national one that's already up and running. So if you want to get onto, you will have an LRC tile on your Canvas. If you just click on the course that says LRC on it, you'll be connected with a treasure trove of resources, helping you with everything from study skills, time management, stress management, tutoring, workshops for different classes. Math is a popular one. It'll help you. We have some that help navigate you through the ebooks. If you haven't used an ebook before, that'd be a great resource for you. The lending library, which is our Learn library, it has a lot of great scholarly articles in it, and then also how to navigate through Canvas. I think this is still me. So ebooks, has anyone ever used an ebook before? So they are great. I love ebooks. Number one, I'll just pull this here. This is one of your nursing textbooks, and it may not do it justice on Zoom here, but it's heavy. It's really heavy, and it's, oh, let me see if I can find a page number in here. It's over 1,700 pages. This is an ebook. It weighs as much as a cell phone. So you can take your ebook with you everywhere on your cell phone. You can have it available on your laptop, on your iPad, whatever device you like. It goes with you everywhere. And it's even better than a textbook. It doesn't smell as good as a textbook, but you can highlight it, you can take notes in it, you can actually save stuff in it that you think is really important. You can make flashcards with stuff that you think is important, virtual flashcards, kind of like, and it's just, there's so many things you can do with it. I will never take a course with a paper book again. We do have paper books available if anyone needs accommodations. So that has to go through the ADA coordinator, which is Dr. Whalen as well. But the ebooks, your assignments are actually embedded within the ebook program itself. So it's just a one-stop shop, and it's fantastic. So, and your ebook can actually read to you as well. So it's awesome. The company that we use for our textbook for your general education class is Cengage. So you will see when you get into your Canvas courses, there will be a tab for Cengage, and Ms. Showman will be able to, and her team will be able to navigate you through your textbook on that first day of class, or probably even before, I think, right? So, so you should have access to your ebook on Monday morning. So if you have any problems getting into it, just give us a quick email and we'll help you navigate that system and help you get in and get going. Each week you'll have assignments that will be done within your textbook program. And then you also have weekly discussions. So this is an opportunity for you to learn things and discuss them with your peers. Your initial discussion post, which is just kind of like sending out a really long tweet, like a double-sized tweet about a specific topic, and there will be guidelines on what needs to be in that. And then you get the opportunity to respond to those tweets with another tweet. So I like to use the word tweet because it sounds so much better than discussion posts. But it's an opportunity for you to kind of have a classroom outside of the classroom and engage with each other, talk about things, learn from each other, because you all have different experiences and you all come from different backgrounds and lives. And so it's a great way to learn from other people. So, and then some of your classes will be on Zoom. So make sure that on Monday morning you're or even as soon as today, maybe you're checking that Canvas, making sure you know where and when your classes are, whether they're Zoom classes or in-person classes. And if you ever have any question, you can contact any of us here at the campus. So, integrity statement. This is really important because if you don't do this, you will not be able to get into any of your content in your class. First thing that you need to do when you start any new class is do the integrity statement. Basically, it says that I won't cheat and I will do my own work and I will be an honest person, which makes sense, right? And then you'll take the quiz, which basically says, I agree to this or I don't agree to it. You want to agree to that. As soon as you do, it'll open up all the content for your course. You won't be able to see any of your assignments or anything like that until you do that integrity statement. Canvas basics. So Canvas is what we call a learning, it's our learning platform. It's a learning management system. Canvas is where you're going to have all of your content for your class located. Over on the sidebar for Canvas, that's going to be kind of your go-to place for everything. You're going to have your syllabus that you're going to want to look over day one. And that gives that'll tell you what you need to get for a passing grade, and it'll tell you your book that you're using. It'll tell you lots of great information about the class. You'll have your assignments, this assignment tab right here. You click on that, it'll list out all your assignments that'll be due for the whole session. Discussions we talked about earlier, they're kind of those big long tweets. And you'll be able to find those there. Bookshelf, that's where you're going to access your book from, your ebook. Grades, this is where you're going to be checking your grades, make sure that you're doing well in the class. And then there is a new feature on here, it's called tutor.com. If you click on that tutor.com in certain classes, it will bring up what's called tutor.com. It is a third-party company that we use that is available 24/7. So if you are working the night shift, or if you are a night owl, or if you're an early riser or a late riser, they are there 24/7. You don't have to always depend on one of our instructors to do a tutoring session for you. You can jump on there. Another great resource that tutor.com has is they will make edits on your paper for you. They will make recommendations on your paper for your writing and your grammar. They might say, hey, this might work better over here, or hey, you need a comma here. They'll help you with APA style, which is the style of writing that we use for nursing. So please, please, please use that tutor.com button if you are in a class that has that capability in it. There's a bunch in your gen ed classes. It's a free service to you, and it is an amazing. Students love this tutor.com. I think especially because they can do it whenever they want. You don't have to set an appointment or anything. You just click on it, and then bam, you have a tutor within. I think the longest I've seen a student wait for a tutor is like less than a minute. So, oh, and there's my tutor.com slide that I just went through. So it is a live tutor. It is someone kind of like a Zoom platform. They'll connect with you. They will be there for you. And, if you're still struggling at the end of that session, they actually email me and they say, hey, this student might need a little bit more help. They might need somebody in person. They might need, these are the areas that they're struggling with. And then we can work on a game plan with you to be successful. So you can just jump on anytime and do a tutoring session. You can schedule it if you want. You can submit your paper for review. Please use that as much as possible. There is I think a time limit on how many sessions you can do, but if you get close to that limit, just let me know and we will figure out a way to get you some more time on there. So don't let that be in the way of your success. I'm not sure when I'm supposed to stop talking.
Now.
Okay. Good.
A couple other things too, just to kind of remind you in Canvas, there's the Learn library. That's something you need to get familiar with using. It's like going to the library, but it's all online. When you get to core, that's how you're going to find your papers and stuff like that. So it's better to learn how to use that in gen ed than just trying to Google everything. Google's great, but it's not going to give you the most up-to-date research. So that's another feature that's in there as well. You should get familiar with. So one of the things we want to do before we get started our classes is go through this online student orientation training. If you've never used Canvas before, this is really going to help you navigate this part of the system because the majority of your graded assignments are going to be in Canvas. And so if you don't know how to access them, or you don't know how to turn things in, it's just, you're not comfortable with technology, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So you want to spend some time doing this. It only takes a couple of hours, but it's going to go over some of the best practices for learning, including some time management strategies. It's going to show you how to navigate through your learning management system in all of your courses. And it's going to introduce you to some of those other tools that we've talked about, including Cengage, your online textbook, and additional assignments that you'll be working on. If you have like a biology class or chemistry class, any of your science classes, you may have a Labster that you have to do. This is another online program that we have to do lab simulations. And so that's going to help you navigate how to use that as well. Next slide, please. So through this, you'll learn how to access your courses. You should, if you haven't already, received an email notification when you got enrolled to that course. You can also get to that course directly through your dashboard on Canvas. Like I said, it should take a couple of hours for you to complete it, but it's definitely something you want to do before you dive into everything. And when you're done, you get a certificate of completion that you know how to use the program. Next slide. We also have available to you some student success seminars. There are 4 interactive seminars that occur throughout the semester. You'll get an email and you can also register here, reminding you of times to register for those. Some of the subjects include metacognition. So this is to help you understand how you think through things. There's deep learning processes. Basically, how do you problem solve, how to collaborate, how to engage in critical thinking. There's developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is very important when you're in school because you need to learn how to believe in yourself and your abilities and how you can adapt and develop any talents that you have. And then, of course, study, study, study. There's 5 phases of studying. How to remember. Most of us do not have a photographic memory. We can't look at something once and it's instantaneously put into our head. We need to look at how many times, we need that repetition. And this goes over how to come up with different ways to establish those steps for memory. So again, you can register on that link that you see there, and you'll see some links to that in your Canvas courses and announcements and emails that you get from us. Next slide. IT support. So our IT person couldn't be with us today either, but I can kind of go over some of the ways that you can get support when you are having problems with your technology. For the first one, when you are running on Canvas, your primary browser should be Google Chrome. Google Chrome works best with that. Firefox would be kind of a backup. Firefox is best when you are actually running any of your Labster labs. That's what's recommended through them. So having multiple different browsers is going to be helpful for you to be able to use some of the different technologies. You do need to meet the hardware requirements that are provided for you, and guess where you can find that information? In the handbook that we talked about earlier. Those are minimum requirements, so be sure that when you are shopping for your computer that you read the information carefully, that you have available that amount of memory. So if it says like you need 2 gigs of RAM, it needs to be available 2 gigs of RAM. And if the computer you get only has 2 gigs of RAM, some of that's being used for how your computer runs its software. And so you may find some hiccups with some of the programs that we use. Beware, things like Chromebooks and notebooks are not compatible with our exam software. We use ExamSoft through Examplify, which we'll talk about a little bit more here shortly. Although they do offer versions that you can download, say, to an iPad, it will not run the actual exam. So you do need a computer with a hard drive and a camera in order to be able to do that. Next slide. You are entitled to some free software as being part of Arizona College of Nursing. We do use the Microsoft Office Suite 365, which can be used online, and you can download yourself a copy of that. You will find that on the global LRC website we kind of talked about. That's through Canvas. You get things like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, which is great for organizing your notes. It's kind of like creating a digital notebook, even Publisher if you want to make flyers or something like that. So be sure that you take advantage of that. We are a Microsoft-based school, so we use things like Teams in addition to Zoom and SharePoint and OneDrive, and that's going to be some of the ways in which you share and collaborate with fellow students and your instructors. Next slide. So how do we get to Canvas? Well, since this is so important, we've got that URL right there, arizonacollege.instructure.com. You're going to log in with the email that you received as being a student here and whatever that default password was. Again, you'll get that information in those login credentials email that was sent to you earlier this week, or will be sent to you this week. Once you get signed in, as Dr. Neidegger said, you want to make sure that you go through the overview section of Canvas in modules. That is going to give you instructions on how you're going to access Cengage, who to contact in the event of tech support if you can't find the slide deck that we send you later. And of course, that integrity statement so that you can open up the rest of your course. Next slide. So again, this is the software that we use for exams. It is ExamSoft through Examplify. This being your first term, you are going to receive an email as we get closer to midterms that is going to invite you to join the rest of your peers and to sign up for the ExamSoft and Examplify. If you do have any difficulties getting this onto your computer, please reach out to me and become sort of the expert on how you get that on your computer. I do need to kind of be in person to work on your computer to get that, but we can get it all set up and ready to go before those midterms and finals. Now the fun stuff. So we are so excited to have you here. We always have a welcome week at the beginning of a term, and this term's welcome week is all about appreciation. We're appreciating you, the students, we're appreciating our nurses, and we're appreciating our instructors. We're going to have some things going on all week, Monday through Friday. Next slide. So all week, one of the things that you can do is you can nominate your favorite core or gen ed teacher and give them a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card, which of course they're going to spend on things to help teach you better. So you'll see you can actually access this here or type in the link that you see there, or use your smartphone to pick up that little picture thing and start. I know that many of you haven't met your instructors yet, but I think you'll pick one of your favorites here in this next week. You have until Saturday to sign up for that and provide some feedback on what it is that you like, so we can help celebrate our teachers. Next slide. So what about you? Well, if you are on campus day 2 and day 4, so that would be Tuesday and Thursday next week, I've got gift bags for you, thank yous and treats. And then if you are here on Wednesday, it's pizza party starting at around 5:30 p.m. So come hungry, we'll have some pizza and some drinks for you to enjoy.
I have a question, Anj. If I'm a student that does not have class on Wednesday, can I still come for pizza?
You absolutely can come for pizza, absolutely. These things are open to you as well, but we do them on campus. And it's a great way to meet some of the instructors that maybe you're gonna have later. You know, in person, you'll get a chance to meet some of the other students. I'm not sure what days the nursing students will be here for the nursing students organization that we have, but I know they usually come a couple times as well for that. And, you know, there's, like I said, treats those other 2 days as well. So if you just happen to be in the area and just want to meet one of us in person, we'll be here so you can have some fun stuff too.
Thanks. And in addition to that, the next week is Nurses Week. And so we're going to party 2 weeks in a row. So you'll hear some more information about Nurses Week coming out towards the end of next week. So get your party hat ready.
All right, next slide. Here is a checklist for you to kind of go through all of the things that you need to do so that you are ready for classes starting on Monday. Now, your classes should populate into Canvas by 5 p.m. tomorrow, so you can start looking through them, start signing up for Cengage and all of that. But you won't be able to really access any of the full materials until Monday. And do not wait till the day of your class to start working on your homework. Our classes are hybrid, so you do want to make sure that you start working on your assignments as soon as your classes open. So some of the things you want to do, make sure you've got access to your student email. As it has been said once or twice or many times today, this is our primary form of communication. And I get this younger generation, like, what is email? Why are you bothering with me with this? It's still the way professionals communicate. And so this is our official mode of communication. It is important that you check your email. I would suggest at least once a day. And if you have a class that day, you might want to check it before class just to make sure that there are no announcements for it to go in there. You also want to make sure that you have access to Canvas. If you do not have access to Canvas, by Monday morning, you need to reach out to one of us so that we can find out why you do not have that access. These are 8-week classes in Gen Ed. It is very easy to fall behind, so you don't want to start off on that foot. So you want to check that. Want to make sure that you have access to the student portal. As Nikki had said earlier, this is where you can get things like your unofficial transcripts. There's information in there about like what your tuition is, things like that. So you want to make sure you have access. You want to make sure that you register for that student success seminar so that you can really get all the skills that you need, especially if it's been a while since you have been in school, because, you know, school has changed maybe, or you're not used to studying again. So you want to make sure you get registered for some of those because seats are limited. You want to complete that new student orientation course before your classes start on Monday so that you know how to use the system and you are ready to go. You want to come get your student ID badge, take your pretty picture. So especially if you have classes that are on campus, you need to be wearing that on your person so we know that you are supposed to be here. And as we have mentioned before, the importance of that student catalog. You want to read that student catalog, and I would suggest bookmarking it to whatever your favorite browser is, right there in that bookmark bar, so you can get to it at any time you need to get to it. Next slide. And let me be one of the last people to congratulate you on being part of our team, part of our family. I'm so excited to be with you on this journey. And as just keep your eyes on the prize and take it day by day, and we're here to help you get there.
All right, thank you. I will just echo her congratulations. And also, we've gone through a lot of information in the past, little over an hour. We don't expect you to memorize it all. We don't expect you to even remember half of it. But we will be sending out this PowerPoint slide to you. We'll also be sending a recording of this session, and that will be available as well. We also are here if you need to just give us a call or an email. I know that the two deans have added their contact information in the chat. I'm also going to, that's my cell phone number. So if you need anything over the weekend and you can't get a hold of somebody, just give me a call and I will be happy to help you. I don't know, Anjali, the answer to that, so.
Answer to what? Okay.
So if you have any questions, please just reach out, let me know, and we'll be happy to help you. Nursing school is fun, it's exciting, it's challenging, so we're here to help you every single step of the way. And now is time for our Q&A session. So there are no dumb questions, there are just questions that there are questions that don't get said and there's questions that do get asked. And if you don't ask it, you won't get an answer to it. So feel free to shoot a question in the chat. It always takes a while for the first person to be brave enough to put a question up. So
I just want to let you guys know that you can always stop by my office too, or if you have any random question, you can email me, call me, stop by, say hi. Kind of freaking out, you're not really knowing what to expect, just stop by.
all right, finally we got it. Okay. No, so you will not need to wear scrubs until you get into your nursing core courses. So that'll be a ways off. So, but as far as dress code, there are, the main rules are just dress in a manner that is appropriate for an academic environment. You do not have to wear business attire or scrubs or anything like that. Just regular street clothes. Just make sure that they are in good taste and that they promote a good learning environment. So, next question: what is required for prereqs in terms of supplies? I think just a laptop, maybe a notebook and pen for now is all that you need. So Natalie, did you have any additional question regarding that, or?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Should I quit my full-time job to concentrate on this program and my family? No, we have many students that are working full-time. I would caution that, this is your goal and this is your future. So if your job is having a hard time working with your schedule, maybe you need to look at a different job. And if you want to look for a different job that's a little bit more flexible with your schedule, give me a call. I have people begging me every single day for people to work, and we can help make your job schedule accommodate your school schedule better. Okay, but we understand you still have to live, you still have to probably support your family, and you got to make ends meet. So you do what you need to do, and but make sure that you do have your time for to focus on school and to do well. If you find yourself slipping behind, maybe you cut back on your hours a little bit. But no need to quit any jobs right now. Where can we access our tuition and what is owed? Candace, are you still on?
I am still here, and that would be a great question for your financial planner. We have several different areas in which loans are accessed or cash pay. So I would get with Berenice or Luce, whoever helped finalize your financial package, to just direct you in the best manner. If you need help contacting them, please reach out to me. I'll put my info in the chat.
Next question is, how long is a semester break? It kind of depends on the semester. We're in a semester break right now. It's about a week and a half long. I know that the winter break is usually about 2, sometimes stretches almost 3 weeks long. So, so it kind of depends, either 1, 2, or 3 weeks. And then you have the week, and that happens. There's 3 semesters per year. So, if you want to know when the semester break is, you can look in the catalog in the calendar, and just take the last day of the one semester and the first day of the next semester. I think, yeah. And if you still need help, feel free to reach out to any of us. Do you have any other questions surrounding semester break? Is it Elizabeth? All right. Next question: if we are going to be out of town for a week, is there a way we can join on Zoom, or will the recording or will there be a recording of class? If you are in a class that has a Zoom component, you can take that from wherever you are at the time. I don't believe that we do recordings on a regular basis unless they're, I don't think we even have any COVID protocols in place anymore for that. So you do need to be in attendance. You do need to be participatory in the class. That's kind of part of the learning process. But you can definitely do that Zoom class from wherever you are in the world. I've actually even, when I was teaching, I would teach from wherever I was at the time. So that's the great thing about the Zoom classes. If it's an on-ground class, you do need to be there for class. If you have an emergency and you need to miss class for an emergency or urgent reason, please get with your instructor and one of your deans to let them know what's going on prior to class, so you can make arrangements, and we know that everything's okay, and we can help you be successful that way. How much time should we separate for homework studying every day? That is a great question, Trinity. So kind of the rule of thumb is that for every hour that you're in class, you should plan on at least 2 hours outside of class. Is that a fair statement, my deans?
Depends on the class. Some of your classes, like math classes, some of the science classes, just because of the nature of the work, it may take more like 3 to 4 hours a week. It just it does depend. You've got writing classes. It will vary from term to term, depending on what classes that you are enrolled in. My advice is to do a little bit every day for any of your classes, because that one will keep you from falling behind in the event that you do have an emergency or you do get sick. You won't be waiting until Sunday to do everything. The due dates that you see are the last possible time to turn something in. So you really should plan to turn things in ahead of time and use those emergency dates only. Students who do that tend to be successful. Those that wait to do all their homework in one day out of the week are the ones that tend to fall behind and tend to have problems keeping up. That's my advice.
I will mimic Dean Showman on that. In the nursing classes, it's really important that you study every day. It's a different kind of thinking, and if you're not getting something and you procrastinate and wait to the end, you're not going to make it.
All right. Great. I would also say that if you feel that you're spending more than that 2 to 3 hours, you should probably reach out to an instructor or get some tutoring help, because that probably means that you're not being efficient with your time studying, or that you're not getting a concept and that's slowing you down from what you should be doing. So that's a good indicator that you might need a little bit of extra help. So do we offer any program to help bilingual people? We did have an English as a second language or as an additional language program that started about a year ago. I haven't had anybody request it yet, so let me let me look into that and see if I can get the information for that. That's a great question. I know my counterpart in Fort Lauderdale had a really great program going. So let me see if I can contact him and find out. Natalie is asking, I was looking into Air Force ROTC. That's great. I was Air Force myself. Great way to do school. I haven't had any, again, this is a new question for me. If you want to reach out to me, text me and remind me that you're looking into ROTC, and I can see if that's something that we can work with here. So. And there is Candace's information. Thanks for putting that in. ID badge. So for your first day of class that you have on campus, just come in a little bit, come in early, and we'll get you a badge made. It just takes a minute or two, get your picture taken, and we'll print you out a badge. If you don't have a course on campus, which shouldn't be anyone that I know of, but if you do, you can just come in anytime before 6 p.m. and we will, we can get you a badge made this week. So. And Candace wanted to remind everyone that we offer study skills guidance and time management resources. So take advantage of those as well as tutoring. Great advice, Candace. Is our first class in person? How do we know what line and not? Oh, Mickey, do you want to fill this question?
Can you repeat that for me one more time?
Yeah, the question is our first class in person, and how do we know if it's online or not? I believe this.
So you should have already received your schedule, and then I sent out earlier today a list of all the general education courses, and it will either have a room number or specify that it's online. So you should be able to look at that, but if you don't see that anywhere, you're welcome to call or email me and I can look at your schedule specifically.
And did you put your information in the chat box? I believe you did earlier.
I did not, but I can.
Thanks.
Your instructors will also post an announcement with a Zoom link if your course is on Zoom. That way you'll know when to join it. Classes start at 6 p.m. and run till 8 p.m. Labs run till 9 p.m.
So the next question, next question is, it says we start classes on the 2nd, but it shows that my schedule is Wednesday and Friday, and the 2nd is Mondays. So your class, your online class, your Canvas part of your class will open up on Monday. And that's the day that you should probably start looking at stuff, start working on some of the readings and stuff like that. So definitely get into your Canvas on Monday. If your class doesn't start till Wednesday, that gives you two days to start looking at information ahead of class and be ready. You all do have a discussion post that's due Wednesday night. So if you don't have class till Wednesday, you might want to look at that discussion post as well. If you're in the class trying to find information and struggling and your class isn't till Wednesday, don't wait till Wednesday to find stuff. Just reach out to any of us and we can help you navigate that Canvas part of the class a little bit better. So yeah, please, Natalie, go ahead.
So my husband and I are trying to find anything that the Air Force offers to help pay for school. We've already been to the AFRC and they can't really give us anything. We do have a meeting today with the education office. Is there anything else that you recommend that we look into or try to help pay for some of the school?
So which one of you, is it your husband that's?
My husband's active duty. I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, I think the education office at Hill is probably your best bet.
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name there anymore. They might even have a different person there now. You might also try reaching out to one of the veteran service organizations, such as VFW or DAB, and, or the state veterans. Can't remember their full name, the state veteran organization.
Okay, awesome.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. And I think that they're va.utah.gov, if I remember right. So
Okay.
I could be wrong on that, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. And tell your husband thank you for his service.
Thank you for your
From all
service.
of us. So, I have not been able to access my student Gmail or Canvas yet. So Elizabeth, if you could just email Mickey, she put her contact information in the a couple of chats ahead of you, and she can help you get access to all that. She can walk you through that process, or you can give her a call. She put her phone number in there as well. Sydney, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so I know that in tuition, like there's a lot of tuition reimbursement. Have you guys ever had any students that like work for Intermountain that they tend to like give them the reimbursement to the university, or if it's like only specific universities?
I am not familiar with how Intermountain does it. I know that we do have a couple of students that are that do work at Intermountain, and I believe that they do the reimbursement program with them. And I know that we have some from the University of Utah as well.
I worked with Intermountain years ago, and so you'll want to talk to your manager about that to fill out the paperwork. So it'll go through on their side for your tuition reimbursement.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, my understanding on the way that it works is that you'll do this semester, and then at the end of the semester, they will want a copy of your grades. And at that time is when they reimburse, but just double check with your manager, like Heather said, to see what their specific program is.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Great questions. So. All right. And I don't see any other questions coming through the chat box. That doesn't necessarily mean that you won't have questions after we hang up here. So make sure that you have written down all of your contact information that's been posted, and watch your email this weekend. If you get a little bit bored this weekend, start working on those orientation classes. But also make sure that you spend a little bit of time this weekend just having a little bit of fun, enjoying some time with family or friends, because you're going to be busy coming up here soon. So, but congratulations again, and look forward to seeing you guys. It's going to be fun next week to see all these new fun faces coming in the door, and we look forward to all of you guys and being a part of your success going forward. So thanks for allowing us to do that. And with that, I think we will adjourn. You guys have a great weekend.
Yes, rest up.
Thank you.